Hey everybody, welcome to Boulder Dash. I am Joe, your host. Thank you for listening to this show. I hope that if you like it, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. Look for us on this show. On this today's show, we're going to be talking about how much I love the month of June and what the month of June means to me, right? Why do I love the month of June so much? You're going to be hearing about that, right? We talk about pride. We talk about me being proud of being black and a dad and just my life in these past 29 years, right? But in this episode, while I was doing it, I was just trying to really hurry up and get it done because I had a lot on my plate, and I wasn't really watching the video. And while I wasn't watching the video, they just had the Gateway Pro logo up. I didn't switch it to my camera. So I just started talking and really started getting into my feels about everything, and I wasn't paying attention to the video. So what you have is some audio this week, but no video. I might do some throw some stuff on top of it and stuff like that to kind of give you something different, but I might just leave the logo up. I'm not for sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but enjoy this episode and join us next week. I will tell you, we have on next week's show, it's going to be about reverence or worship. So you're going to join us next week for the 4th of July episode of Boulder Dash. Again, make sure you guys go and like and subscribe to all our platforms. Don't miss a episode of the show. And I will talk to you guys later. Again, thank you so much. I really appreciate that you take the time out to listen or watch this show. It means so much to me. Enjoy the episode. Hey everybody, welcome to Boulder Dash. Got a lot I want to talk about today. This is my birthday week. I will be having a birthday this week, and I will be 29 years old. And there is so much that I've done in this lifetime. It's crazy. In this lifetime, I have moved from one state to another. I have been married. I am married. I have 2 kids. I have had a ton of jobs. I think I'm on job number 24, 25 right now. I have a business that I've been running for 10 years. I have a podcast that I've been running for 5 of those years almost. I've created a couple of other podcasts, They didn't really fly off, but a lot of it's because of time, and I'm just so busy. What else has happened? I've just done so much. I've met a lot of people. I've had a lot of friends and things like that. And it's just crazy that 10 years, it's a lot of time, but it's not. Right? If you look at the grand scheme of things, you say, wow, 10 years is nothing. But when you're sitting right here in it, 10 years is a lot. Like, think about that. Think about that right now. Think about whatever age you are. And think about what happened 10 years ago. Or 10 years ago. Think about what age you were 10 years ago. And think about all the things that happened in between that time. And when you do that, you will realize that 10 years is a long time. It's a lot of time. And you can accomplish a lot in 10 years. Like I said, I've been doing the Joe Show for 5 years. Right? I can't believe it. 5 fucking years. I've had my Gateway Pro business for 10 years. 10 years. A lot can happen. And I don't know about you, my birthday, it's a time for me not to really be excited because birthdays to me, they're just another day. There's some trauma in the past that's associated with the birthday, and I just don't really like celebrating birthdays. But for me, birthdays are a time to reminisce, right? About things that you've done in the past, about where you want to go. And that's what I'm doing this week, really just thinking about my friends and the businesses I've worked for and what do I want to do. Like in the next 10 years when I'm 39, what are some of my goals that I want to accomplish, I want to stop vaping, My caffeine intake, I want to lower that. I want to start getting healthier. Like we've talked about, I've got jacked up teeth. My plan is to get those teeth all fixed. I want to get a little more fit. Like I am fit, but I just want everything to be a little tighter. I want to take better care of myself. I want to have one job that I like. You know, I want to be making money in something that I love doing and be comfortable. You know, that's what I would like. But so much has happened in these past 10 years. So much. And it's just crazy to me. In the past 10 years, I went from not really liking my color of my skin to really being proud of being black, right? That all started in 2019 when I had like a family member. They were like, I am not celebrating 4th of July because it is not Black Independence Day. And me being raised in a Christian household, you know, very Christian, conservative household. It was one of those things where it was just like, what are you talking about? You're not celebrating the 4th of July. You are a, what's the word? Not a terrorist, but you're somebody who goes against their nation. I forget what it's called. But, yeah, Joe, because Joe's listening, me, future me, is listening to it, and he said the right thing. Yeah, you are correct. But... breaking the fourth wall. But where was I going with it? Yeah, he said he wasn't celebrating it. And so I asked him, I said, when is Black people's Independence Day? He didn't write back. And so me being the person I am, I went and looked it up. And I discovered Juneteenth. And that happened in 2019. A year later, or couple months later, like 6 months later, we started the Joe Show. And with me doing the research for for Juneteenth, I really wanted to do something for Black History Month because one, I thought it'd get me ratings and it would grow during that time. I was really playing on people's emotions and things like that, and we did 2 episodes. But when we did those 2 episodes, I learned so much about Black history, right? And then so that following year, we did 28 days of Black history. And we did 28 days of just learning about Black people. And I learned so much about these historical figures, these historical events, right? I learned so much. And it really got me to appreciate my Black people. But then that following year, we did 29 days of Black history, or 28 days of Black history with inventors. And let me tell you something, man. It really made me proud to be Black and be part of a people that have fought so hard for their rights, right? It was crazy to me that we went from royalty to slavery to musicians, politicians, activists, and so much more, right? We were brought here as slaves, right? But then we stole our freedom back and became 10 times better than anybody thought we could be. That makes me proud to be part of this race, right? And in this 10 years, I went from somebody who was confused about who I am as a person because I was a Black person who didn't feel like they were accepted by their community. So then I went to the white community and tried to get accepted by them, but they wouldn't accept you all the way because you weren't white. I was a very confused person, and I went from that to a person that is proud and knows that, hey, I'm Black. The reason why I do these certain things, the reason why I act this certain way, the reason why I like seasoning on my chicken, the reason why I got this skin, and the reason why I don't get sunburned too bad is because of this, right? I learned so much, and I'm proud to be Black. And that's why I love June, because June is a month for me. It really just speaks to my whole personality, right? Juneteenth being Black, Father's Day, Pride Month, my birthday, June is just the month for me, and I freaking love it, man. I love it. I love being part of a community of black people that are strong and fighters. I love being part of a community that is beaten down and told saying what you're doing is weird and they're fighting for their rights. I love being part of the community. I love being part of the father community, the good father community, the good men of the world that really want to build children and help them become bigger and better and productive members of society. I really love being a part of that community because that community is super hard to be a part of. Each and every one of these communities that I associate with are super hard to be in because you have so many things going against you, but at the end of the day, you rise up and you become better and you help people become better. Go look at black dads. Black dads really, really get we in the past we've done it to ourselves, but just dads have gotten the short end of the stick, especially lately, because a lot of dads are trying to be good. They're trying to do better, right? But people still don't give a fuck, right? And I just love being a part of that community, right? I will say that being a Dan is a struggle. It's a struggle. I wouldn't give it up for anything in the world, but it's a freaking struggle raising these two son of a guns, right? Because they're people. They test you, they question you, they make you learn more about yourself while raising them, right? Because you take things from your past and the way you were raised and you say, okay, I want to do better than my parents, right? But I want to take this out because this is how this made me feel as a kid. And you like, oh dang, that was something that I unlocked and I didn't know that really affected me, and it's affected me as an adult. So now I'm going to therapy, and you go to therapy and it really you start figuring out more about yourself, and that's through your kids. It's just crazy, right? Being a dad is super hard, but wouldn't give it up for the world, man. And then, like I said, June's my birthday month. June's my month, man. Everything that I associate, a lot of the stuff that I associate myself with, it's in June. It's a great month. And I'm happy. This is one of my happy months, you know? June 1st. Woo! I'm gay. I'm proud. June 19th. June 19th. Yeah, Juneteenth. June 20th. Father's Day. And I'm not giving out my goddamn birthday over the air, but latter part of June. Latter part of June. Woo, it's my birthday type of a deal. It's a great month. And I just really like how this month just circumference me and my personality and everything. But, yes. I think what I'm going to start doing on this show, I'm going to end it. I don't think I have too much. I think I got like 12 minutes here. We've been having real short episodes because I've just had so many topics to talk about, you know, with Pride and Juneteenth, and then we got 4th of July coming up. I really haven't had time to sit down and like plan other episodes, you know. We got some episodes with Marcus coming up, so be on the lookout for that after the 4th of July. But what I really think that I'm going to start doing with this podcast is I really want to change the way we do things, right? We didn't change the name, and I really didn't think about this until the other day, but we changed the name to Balderdash. And most people are like, what's Balderdash mean? It means senseless, nonsense, right? And so when I heard that, I took it as, that's my show, because we talk about senseless and nonsense all the time, and it really doesn't matter, right? That's what I thought that meant. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, there is so much nonsense and senselessness going on in the world, right? How about we make this a place for people to try to understand, right? And give their opinions about it, right? Because I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are with things, right? But this doesn't work unless you bring yours, right? I want to figure out what's your thinking with things. I want this to be a safe space for people to talk about what's going on, right? Like, what's going on with Trump and Biden? Haven't talked about this. Trump got convicted, right? Should we let a felon be president? What are your thoughts on that? If you're for Trump, what are your thoughts on it? If you're against Trump, what's your thoughts on that? Hunter Biden, he's going to jail too. He just got convicted. What is that? How does that make you feel about the Biden administration, right? Do you feel like Joe Biden is sticking to his guns? Like he's just not going after Trump because he's a Republican, but his judicial, what is it? I forget what the word is, but is he fair and just? When it comes to that part, I don't know. I want to hear from you guys with that. I want you guys to help me figure out the balderdash of the world, right? That's what I want you to help me. And that's what I kind of want this platform to be now. I want to be able to sit down, talk about stuff we just don't understand and kind of make sense of it, right? Because I feel like that's what I do with the history episodes. What I've noticed is that in the past 4 or 5 episodes, they've all had some type of history with it. Memorial Day, history. LGBTQ episodes, those had history with it. What else? The Juneteenth, history. We're getting ready to do a 4th of July one, right? Let's do it. But I can't do this by myself. I'm not asking you to give me money. I'm not asking you to support me. What I'm asking is to have a conversation. Like, comment, right? Comment on the episodes. We were talking about this. I was on TikTok the other day, and I was talking about how just because you are happy that Trump is going to jail doesn't mean that you support Biden. And guess what? That freaking blew up. And we were having a discussion on it and everything. And I was like, I freaking love this. Because there were a couple people that disagreed with me and they were for Trump. And I was asking them legitimate questions while I was kind of just, be like, But I was asking them questions, man, and it was just crazy to me. It was really good. It felt really good. So I think that's what I'm going to kind of start making this show, right? So I hope that you'll join me in that. And I guess since we're bullshitting, let's see if we can do a live story. Let me see if I can remember one. Stay right there. We'll be right back out of this. So, okay, we are back, but we're not doing a live story. Okay, we are going to talk about this. I've been holding this in for a long time, and I've been waiting to have an episode about it. Okay, so Larry Bird came to the hotel, right? All right. And one of the things that I was really talking to people about was I felt bad for Larry Bird. I felt bad for Larry Bird because Larry Bird is this great basketball player. People love this dude, especially here in Terre Haute. People love this dude. He went to ISU for 4 years, and people love the hell out of this dude. He came here because he has a new museum opening, and he was doing like the ribbon cutting and all that for it. And so the people that were opening the museum was like, "Hi, Larry, can you come down here and do this stuff?" And Larry's like, "I guess so." And what I was hearing about Larry Bird before he arrived was that Larry is a jerk, and a lot of people don't like him. And I was like, well, maybe I don't like him either. If he's a jerk, you have all this money and you're a basketball player and you have all these fans and all these people love you. A lot of people would kill to be in your position, to have your money and your fans, and you're just like, man, I don't like it. Right? And then somebody said he was shy. They said he was a shy person. I was like, oh, okay, he's a shy person or whatever. Then I saw him, right? I saw how he moved through crowds. I saw how he interacted with people he didn't know. I saw how when they had him on stage and he was getting ready to give his speech, I saw how he was acting. And I was like, this dude's a freaking introvert, maybe with autism. Because just his mannerisms, right? You could just tell he was uncomfortable. He didn't want to be there, right? He was just a shy dude who just happened to be good at basketball and then blew the fuck up. And now he has to interact with all these people. And all he wants to do is take his money and take care of his family. Like Larry Bird said at the hotel that I work at. And he didn't talk to nobody. He had breakfast. And it was just like he just went around real quick. Kept his eyes down, really don't want to talk to anybody. His wife did all the talking and stuff for like checking in and everything like that. And I don't think he's an asshole. I just think he's a shy dude. And a lot of people might say shyness and being a basketball star, they don't go together. Yeah. But just imagine you're a introvert who really don't like hanging around people, right? And you just all of a sudden get good at something. And you're very good at it. To a point you become famous. And now the world wants to know you. They want to talk to you. They want to interview you. They want to touch you. They want your autograph. And you're not a people person. That's Larry Bird. Watching him on the stage as all these people are looking at him and talking about him, you could just see him. He kept drinking his water. He was messing with his hands. He was just kind of just having like a nervous tick and everything. He just didn't want to be there. And I felt bad for him, man. I felt bad for him. Because he cannot be just a normal person. He can't be a normal person. And I was talking to my partner about this because him and I are very different. Right? Like for me, I'm kind of like, I'm an introvert extrovert, right? Where I like talking to people, but at the same time, I want to be in this studio, not talking to anybody, just being alone in the studio. Right? But I would love to be famous. I would love to be out there talking to people about stuff. Hey, yeah, Jimmy Fallon and I did this in this movie that I did. It was a very good movie, and I love filming it with Ryan Reynolds. It was a very good film that we did. I did that movie back in 2024. It was a really great film. I almost broke my rib and stuff. That's what I want. I love that. My partner's completely different. Don't want to be famous at all. And if they were famous, they wouldn't want to be in the limelight. Like literally, they've told me, they say, hey, listen, if you get famous, I'm not going on the red carpet with you. Like you're going to have to get somebody to walk around and do the events with you. Like they going to think you don't have a partner because I ain't going to show up anywhere because I just don't want that life. I just want to be cooped up in the house. And I was like, that's fine, type of a deal. But I just felt bad for him. Also, too, the Blue Angels came to Terre Haute. Blue Angels, if you don't know, they are the Navy Navy jets. And they do air shows, right? And so there was an air show in Terre Haute, and they were the big finale, right? And they were a great group of people. They stayed at the hotel too, and I got to talk to them for about a half hour just about things that they do and ask them questions like up close and personal. Then I went to the air show and I actually filmed that at the for the news station, and it was just a really good experience. I had never been to an air show. I recently found out that my shot tracking sucks when it comes to jets, because I was trying to get this on a tripod. Like, I had the tripod and I was filming, like following the jets, but then I realized they were too fast. So then I started freehanding, right? And I tweaked my back because I had it zoomed in on the jet. It's coming in, and then I was doing a thing where I was zooming in when they were far away, and as they got closer, I zoomed out, and then when they passed me, I zoomed back in. But you don't realize how fast these motherfuckers are, right? Like, this dude was just sitting there. He was just like, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we have the F-42-65 now. It's going to be passing you right on your left at 3,500 miles per hour. You was like, oh yeah, 305 miles per hour. And so they just had this music to boom, jigga doom, jigga doom, jigga doom, jigga doom, jigga doom, jigga doom, jigga doom. And then all you would hear is on your left. And then the pet would just go. And so that's how I was. I was sitting there, I was filming, and then the first time they went. And I was like, oh shoot, my back. Because you got to keep your stuff, you got to keep your bottom torso firm and straight. Because you don't want to be sitting there looking like you on a goddamn wave or a boat or anything, right? So when you're filming, so you don't want that. So I tweaked my back. One of the craziest things, right? Because dude told us, he was like, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have the two of these jets. They're gonna come from the left of you, and then from behind you, they're going to have what was it? They were going to pull their they were basically, the maneuver was they were going to sneak up on us, and then at the last second pass by us with their burners on, right? And so they were doing the thing, he was like, on your left. And then we're looking at them, right? They go, whoo. They were looking at them, we're just like, oh. And then just out of the blue, I got this $5,000 camera in my goddamn hand, filming this stuff for a news station. I ain't got $5,000 on me to be replacing no $5,000 camera, right? These people almost dropped this camera, right? Because I'm filming them. They go from the left to the right, and then we're sitting there like, yeah. I hit the record button to stop the recording. I take the camera and I kind of put it just right here on my chest as I'm waiting to film something else, and these motherfuckers come from behind us and right over our heads put the alpha burners, and we all jump. And I'm like, hey, I got this $5,000 camera in my hand. Don't be doing that. But the thing about it was, he told us that he was going to be doing it, right? And it was just a very cool experience. One of the things I've talked about in the past is that Terre Haute loves their festivals. And when there is a festival, they show the fuck up. And let me tell you something. We had people from all over. Not only did you have people from Terre Haute, but you have people from around the states coming to see this air show. And it was just a great show. We got to see planes and jets from the World War II, World War I. They had planes that played in Pearl Harbor, and they had planes that kind of were replicas of those things. And so they were doing a lot of things. One of my favorite things were they were replicating like bombers, right? And so you would get a plane and it would fly over the runway, and then they had like a pyrotechnic crew that they came and they would blow up the explosives as the plane passed, so it looked like it was dropping bombs. Coolest thing in the world. Really needed earplugs, but it was just a great event, and I was so glad I got to go there, man. I really like this news job because it really lets you get into things that you didn't know was happening. One of the big things that I've always complained about Terre Haute, I think I've even complained about it on this show, is that there is not a lot of stuff that goes on here. But what I'm finding out is Terre Haute is kind of like Springfield. It's an underground city. And what I mean by that is if you don't know about something, you will not be able to go to the events, right? You have to be in the know with certain things. And I'm glad I'm part of the news because it allows me to do that, right? They just had this thing called Pitch Black, right? And it was where these black entrepreneurs went and pitched their ideas to these investors, right? And it was just a really good place because it was just a bunch of black people sitting there. They're coming there, pitching their pitch, and then they were given $1,500 to $2,000 to either grow their business or to start their business. And it was very good. I didn't know that. We have this thing here in Terre Haute called a Walk with the Mayor. And once a month, the mayor goes to these different parks because Terre Haute has a lot of great parks with a lot of great trails in it. And the mayor will go to a park, right, with minimal security, right? And he will walk around the park. And anybody who's anybody can go walk with this dude and talk to him about what they feel the city needs or what's wrong with the city so that the mayor can hear from the people. I think that's great. I think that's awesome, right? And there's so many other things that they have going on there. A couple of crazy things with the news job is that even though you have a lot of exciting things that you do a lot of breaking news, right? Like in this job, on my first day, there were 11 kids stuck in a bus because a person passed out because they were a diabetic. They passed out with 11 kids on the bus. The guy hit a power line, and there were live power lines on a bus with these 11 kids in it. That was my first story that I went out in training. That's my first story. I went to a drowning, a water accident, right? I was in the news studio, right? And I got a call, and they were like, "Hey, Joe, we need you to go down to Vincent, Illinois. There was this thing that happened." And come to find out, there was some child that had drowned in there, and they were trying to find the body. Like, it's crazy. You get the exciting stuff, but then you also get the traumatic stuff, you know? Like, it's just crazy, right? I've experienced 2 deaths being in the news. Crazy, right? There was a fire and there was that drowning. It's just crazy. You know, not only do you get the good, but you also get the traumatic stuff, right? But it's nice. It's awesome. I'm glad I'm part of the news station. I'm glad I got to go to these events, and I'm glad to see that Terre Haute's got so much more going on than I thought. I'm really starting to get upset with myself because for a longest time I thought Terre Haute ain't shit. There ain't nothing going on in it. And now I'm starting to see that there is a lot going on. You just have to be in the community. You have to be active in those groups to figure out what's going on, right? But yeah, that's what's going on in my life. Right now, I'm getting ready to work 9 days straight, 8 to 16 hours on both of those days. And it's all right because we need the money, but also, too, it's just very, very crazy. And I got to find time to record and stuff like that, so life is super busy for me. But I want to know what you think about all these topics, you know, being black. Are you proud to be black if you're black? Another thing is, what do you think about Juneteenth and the 4th of July? Do you think that Juneteenth is as important as the 4th of July? Or is the 4th of July more important? Because to me, I have my opinion, which you'll be hearing next week on my thoughts of the 4th of July. But what do you think about that? Because that's a big debate going on. There are people who are like, the 4th of July is the most important. And some other people are like, Juneteenth is the most important. And I just want to know what people's takes are on that. How was your Pride Month? Was Pride a good Pride for you? Did you go out to the Pride Fest? I didn't get to go out and do and experience any of that. I did try to go to a Pride trivia that I created. I'm probably going to post that to like YouTube or something because I did work hard on it. But I'm gonna see what I want to do with that. But I tried to do that. We didn't get the flyers out in enough time. The place that I was, the business that I was working with, we didn't do that. So I wasn't able to really show my work, but dang, man, I really would have loved to because I worked hard on it. So I didn't really get to do too much on that. And then Father's Day, do you find it hard being a dad? Heck, do you find it hard being a parent? I do, right? It's frustrating for me. It's one of those things where it's like one of those activities, right? Where you're going through it and it's hard. It's frustrating. There's a lot of problem solving, but you keep with it though, because you know at the end of the day, the results are going to be better, right? You know that there's a lot of good that's coming out of it, right? Like, you know that you're going to be bigger and better by the time it's done, right? That's how I see it, right? Like, I know that if I work hard at being a good parent for my kids are going to hopefully turn out right? I'm hopefully going to have a good relationship with my kids, right? That's my end goal. My end goal is to have a good, healthy adult relationship with my kids. And if I can have that, that'd be the best, right? I love the relationship between me and my dad. Like, me and my dad talk about everything. There was nothing off the table with me and my dad. Some people think it's weird, but I literally tell my dad everything. Like, I was talking to my boy Marcus, and my dad was on the phone, and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, this is going on, this is not going on. He was like, He's like, you poop. He's like, you got to make sure you out there pooping, man, because if you don't poop, that's going to really mess up your guts and stuff like that, you know. How you got a prostate exam? And my boy Marcus is like, you talk to your dad about this stuff? I said, yeah. Did you talk to your dad about this stuff? He's like, no. I was like, my dad is older than me. My dad has experienced a lot more. And he's probably experienced some things that I haven't. So I'm going to sit here and talk about there is no damn near. I talk about everything with him to kind of get his take on it so that I could grow and get this knowledge, from him. I don't know. That's just me. And that's the kind of relationship I want with my kids. I want my kids to come up to me and just be like, Dad, man, I ain't been shitting right, man. What I'm going to do? I'm like, well, boy, you go in there, go get some goddamn magnesium, okay? Go to the store, get the cherry magnesium, drink about half of that, see how you feel. And if nothing started chugging through, you drink the other half of it. Now, make sure that you got a toilet sitting there next to you. Make sure you get a rug, some toilet paper, some candles, and a good show, because you're going to be on that toilet for about 18 hours after you done take that magnesium. That's the kind of relationship I want. Right? So make sure you write in, tell me about any of these topics. I would love to hear from you because this is our balderdash, man. This world we live in is a balderdash, and I want to make sense of it, and I want you to be there with me too. So make sure you go to Gateway Pro Productions on Facebook, Instagram at _JoShow20, the Balderdash podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And I want you guys to go out, spread love into the world, be the best person you can be, and I will see you guys next week on another episode of the Balderdash podcast. Bye bye, everybody. Live good and happy.